YouTubers! I am super duper excited today because I have put Rosie girl to the ultimate challenge today. The ultimate baking a super scrumptious, extra crispy and crunchy chocolate chip cookie because oh, she's even listening in. Oh, she's cheating now. Because I didn't tell her at first. I grew up in Europe, and in Europe we had super crunchy and crispy chocolate chip cookies. And when I moved over here, everything is just soft and soggy cookies, and it's like blah. So we want to make the ultimate cookie here today, the chocolate chip super crunchlicious chocolate chip cookies. So let's go in the kitchen and see if Rosie girl is ready to take on the challenge today. Woo! Are you ready?
Ding, 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 ding. Let's get ready to rumble. I accept your challenge, Missy Jen, to make the ultimate crispy chocolate chip cookie. This cookie is so fantastic. It's so crispy. It's so non-chewy. It is so crunchy that you know what I've called it? The super, what do I call this? Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious crunchy chocolate chip cookie. How's that title? This is going to be fantastic, a fantastic cookie to make. It's going to take one or two more steps and a little tweaking of the ingredients, but I feel sure Missy Jen is going to be so happy when she tastes the finished product here that, well, she will be over the moon. So Jen, I accept your challenge to throw down for the super crunchy chocolate chip cookie. Let the game begin. I accept the challenge to make a crispy chocolate chip cookie today. It's not easy because, well, it's rarely found in recipe books because it requires some techniques and some adjusting of ingredients and times that, well, most people don't want to deal with. Actually, today, few people even make homemade chocolate chip cookies, and it's okay. We're a very fast society, so people go to the store, they buy the rolls of commercially prepared dough, they bring them home, they open it, they slice it into pieces that go onto the baking sheet, they bake them, and they enjoy the cookies. That's a great thing. It's an easy, convenient thing, but it's not going to give you a crispy chocolate chip cookie. If you go shopping, which we all do, and you go down the aisles of your grocery store or supermarket, you will find that the cookies that are sold, when you bite into the chocolate chip cookies, they are crispy. Now I know about 10 or 15 years ago, soft and chewy came on the market, but if you notice in the stores, and if you're a real observer of what goes on the food aisles like I am, especially for baked goods and baked products, you'll notice that a lot of the soft and chewy cookies have started to disappear, and the crispy cookies are back. Our challenge today is to make a crispy cookie that tastes good. Now, why would you think that people enjoy that crispy cookie so much? Because the researchers at places like Pillsbury and at General Mills, they have determined that a crunchy cookie, a crisp cookie, has that snap to it that gives people a beautiful mouth feel. It's kind of it's a sensory experience that involves not only the taste buds, not only the sense of smell, but also the sense of bite that people like, that they're really biting into something that bites back, and that's the fun part of it. So come on down the counter side. We're going to discuss the ingredients today and discuss some of the techniques we're going to use to adjust traditional chocolate chip recipes. I'm going to take a couple minutes to get our ingredients together. I'm softening our butter ahead of time. Make sure you do that too. Sit it on the counter an hour or two before you want to bake. Let that get good and soft because we have to cream that butter today. Okay, let's get started. Let's make a crisp cookie, chocolate chip cookie. Welcome down the counter side here, and let's go over our ingredients really quickly. We need 2 cups of semi-sweet chocolate morsels. We're going to need 2.5 cups of a good flour, okay, good all-purpose flour. All right, we're going to need 1 cup of softened butter, and I've been letting this sit out on the counter for a while now to get soft. It's easier to cream that way. 1 teaspoon of salt, and try to use sea salt because it doesn't have silica inside of it. Silica is ground glass, and salt manufacturers and producers put that into the product to keep it from caking together. But who wants to eat glass, huh? So use a sea salt. We're going to use 1 1/4 cups of white sugar here. We need 1 egg, 1 good quality egg. I have a fresh baking soda here. We're going to use 1 teaspoon of baking soda, 1.5 teaspoons of a very good real vanilla. Believe me, it makes a difference. And 1/4 cup of brown sugar. Now you're going to say to yourself, that's a lot less brown sugar than we use in traditional chocolate chip cookie recipes. Yes, it is. Let's find out why that's the case. Let's talk about cookie making theory here and why and where and how we're going to make a crisper chocolate chip cookie. And the real heart of how we're going to accomplish this is by using brown sugar. Now, you're going to say to yourself, Rosie, of course, all baking recipes for chocolate chip cookies use brown sugar. Of course they do, but they use a cup of brown sugar traditionally. We're going to reduce that to 1/4 cup. And when we reduce that by that much, it's automatically going to make the cookie crisper. Reason being, brown sugar has molasses in it, and molasses holds moisture. It is a moist product. This is why you can compress and pack brown sugar, because of the moisture content inside. Reduce the moisture, get a crispier cookie. We're also going to increase the amount of white sugar to compensate for our reduction in brown sugar. We're going to take it from 1 cup to 1 1/4 cups. Traditional white sugar makes a crispier product. Finally, traditional chocolate chip cookie recipes call for 2 cups of flour. We're going to increase that to 2.5 cups of flour. Voila, we're automatically going to have a crisper cookie, okay? So let's go ahead and get started, and I'm starting to really get hungry. First thing I'm doing is unwrapping our 1 cup of butter here. It's all been nicely softened, not too soft. You certainly don't want it watery, okay? And I'm putting that into the bowl there. We'll sit this on the side. And to that, I'm going to add our 1 1/4 cups of white sugar. All right, here goes our sugar. egg to it. And be very careful. Okay, you don't want any shells in. Set that aside over there. Okay, and we'll go back and continue beating in our egg and continuing to cream our sugar. Rather than go ahead and add the chocolate chips later in the process, I went ahead and fold them in now before we add the flour in. The reason being is that it's so much easier to fold the chocolate chips in now than when it's drier and the flour's there. You end up breaking up a lot of the chips. We need 1 teaspoon of the good baking powder. We're going to add that to our bowl. Our flour here, we're going to get a little more because a lot stuck to it here because it was wet. Now we're going to go ahead and take the salt and we're going to add our 1 spoon of sea salt here. And salt does something to bring out the richness of chocolate. So we're going to go ahead and whisk that together really well. Okay. Our salt, our baking soda, not baking powder, but baking soda, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, 1 teaspoon of salt, with our 2.5 cups of flour. Now this is where you need some really strong muscles because we're going to be combining our flour mixture with our moist cream butter, sugars, egg, and vanilla. Okay, a little bit of time. We'll start incorporating that. You're going to need some muscles for this. Start stirring slowly, okay? We have a lot of flour that we have to get in here. You want to make sure that all of your ingredients are really thoroughly combined at this point. This is why we added the chocolate chips earlier, because literally you will break your hand well, you'll get an arm ache if you're trying to put chocolate chips in at this point. So you can see now we have a beautiful dough here, a wonderful cookie dough. And this is much drier than you're used to seeing for sure, but it's going to make that crisp cookie. Make sure everything is blended really well though, because that baking soda has to be thoroughly combined everywhere or you won't have any kind of rise. And we always need a rise. I've also got my baking sheets out and I've sprayed them with a non-stick spray. I'm now going to get the scoop out so we can scoop out our cookies, okay? We have some more technique here to discuss. For this part, you have to make sure your hands are really clean because we're going to be taking out these pieces of cookie dough, and we're going to be forming them into balls and putting them on the plate here. Don't press them down yet. These are going to be good sized cookies here, okay? Make sure to save some space. We're going to try to get maybe 12 to a sheet on here. I have a couple sheets, and just try to make them uniform in size. If you didn't like the way the spacing was working, just put it back in the bowl and make bigger ones or make smaller ones. But try to get them nice and round, just like that, okay? It's very easy to do. That didn't come out so round, did it? Oh boy. Boy, I can't wait to taste these though. These are going to be fantastic. So we just roll them just like that, and we're almost done our first sheet here, but we're not done with it yet. We have to tweak it a little bit. We have to do something to it in order to get an even crisper cookie, okay? Put the last one here. Okay, sit that right there. Put that on the side. I'm going to do the same thing with the other tray. So we might have a few more. We probably won't have a dozen for that, but that's okay. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and prepare the next tray and keep the party going. Our beautiful cookies are on the cookie sheet. So the next thing we have to do, and this is where a little bit of the technique comes in, you have to get a nice clean glass and one with preferably a wide bottom, and we're going to go around and we're going to smush down each of the cookies. Now these should not be sticking at all, okay? That's the beauty of it. This is a very dry dough, so they should compress very well without if it sticks, just pull it right off. It's not going to be an issue. And you want to make sure that these are good and flattened down and uniform in size, just like that, okay? These will be such neat and tasty chocolate chip cookies, okay? One technique that I discovered that works really well when you're trying to flatten a cookie and you don't want it to stick is you hit it rapidly and lift up just like that, and it will flatten it, okay? Pretty cool, huh? We'll set them aside. This gives you some fun too, in case you're trying to get some tension off of you, or you had a bad day. Woo! 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 All right, and there we go. All ready to go. 375 degrees, and we're going to start them for an initial 10 minutes, okay? They're going to bake 8 to 11 minutes. You can take your first peek at about 8 minutes, okay? Into the oven they go. Let's take a peek in at the 8-minute mark, and these are definitely going to need some more time, so I'm going to add another 5 minutes. Just make sure you watch them carefully so that they don't burn. I'm also rotating, even though I have a convection oven, I'm rotating the cookies from top to bottom and bottom to top, okay? Where did the cookies go? Where did the cookies go? Where did all the cookies go? I didn't eat them all. Missy Jen didn't eat them all. They're back in the oven. You know, one of the baker's secrets to getting a really crisp, super crisp cookie is also to bake it twice. That's right. Not just once, but twice. We took those cookies out after baking about 20 minutes, 18 to 20 minutes. We sat them on the side, let them cool down. We put them back on the baking sheets, back in the oven. They're 200 degrees. I know that's a very low heat, but that 200 degrees is going to draw a lot of the moisture, additional moisture out of the cookies. So we're going to leave them in there for about 15 minutes, okay? This is what you do to get a really crisp cookie. There they are, out of the oven, twice baked. Added an additional 20 minutes, and I can tell you that is going to be one super crisp cookie. All that remains to do is to let them cool down a little bit, and then we'll have Missy Jen in to do the final taste test. Did we achieve our goal? Well, Missy Jen, I accepted your challenge. We're going to have the taste test at the very end of the video, but I think that you can tell that's a very crispy cookie right there. Not yet. Not yet. We're going to have her tested at the end here. But this is, I hope you enjoyed the supercalifragilisticexpialidocious extra crispy chocolate chip cookie baking video today. So, yes, at the end, Missy Jen will give this a try. So, Jen, wrap it up for us today. And I know you're...
Well, if you like this video, share this video, give us a thumbs up, leave some nice comments down below in the comment section. Hugs, love, and kisses for us both. Toodles.
Here's the moment you've all been waiting for. Did Rosie win her supercalifragilisticexpialidocious super crispy chocolate chip cookie challenge? Missy Jen, let's hear some snap. Ooh, did you hear that snap? Now let's hear if we get a little bit of crunch. Oh, that sounds so crunchy. Oh. I think we'll turn this into an ASMR.
Crunchy.
Does Rosie win the challenge?
Crispy. The Rosie girl has won the challenge.
I'm so honored.
And we have another bite.
Thanks for watching, everyone.